So I want to be honest this morning. In my spiritual walk, I have been um, contacted, I guess is the best way to say, by energies that are willing to use my anger and use that energy to lash out at those that I think that have done wrong. I honestly did it one time when it involved my kid, and it was something that had a very immediate effect. It worked, and I felt terrible about it. And reading a story today about a 5-year-old boy in Minnesota who was detained by ICE, 5-year-old boy on his way home from school, wearing a cute little hat, and finding out that there are at least 4 other children from that same school district that have been detained. The same energies are coming forward. They're always there, but I think it's when I'm more open to hearing from them, when I have something that I'm really, up in arms about, I guess is the best way to put it. So I want to be really honest about this spiritual walk that I'm on. And I hope that a lot of other people, whether they are, these videos I do are about my own personal experience. If you resonate with it, great. If you don't, great. I'm no longer worried about likes and shares and all these other things because I want it to be an authentic walk. But this is really authentically what's coming up for me today. I'm I've tasked myself with the idea that I need to step more into my faith muscle than my fear muscle, which means that when something does trigger me, I need to immediately step into faith. I need to start calling upon the different energies, whether it's the angels or the universal divine. It's for you. It's however you connect. I mean, however it is. It's all really the same thing. We're all one. But along with doing that, a lot of times I can feel really called to, while I'm sending protective or good energy towards one, protecting the other energies toward the other. And like I say, the crazy thing about the spiritual walk, there are no manuals, there's no booklets, there's really almost no guardrails, to be honest with you. And so it's all available. It's all there. And it's something that people really don't talk about a lot. But you see lots of traditions like in the voodoo culture and others where, that's more known, with the voodoo dolls and things of that nature. And I don't mean to offend anybody, but it's just that's more of a known thing as far as, energy that's meant to um, perhaps harm. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I don't wanna be, wrong towards anybody's tradition, and I don't think voodoo is a bad thing. I'm just saying that's the one that's probably the most known. But those possibilities are in everything, and you even really see it with religious organizations nowadays where they're using, the gospels and traditions and Christianity, in my opinion, to really harm, and they've done that for a long time. I remember when I was going through my master's in religious studies, I tried to pick one theme for one paper that we had to write that would not show something awful that Christians had done. So I picked the Mayan calendar. I picked the year 2000, I think it was 2012, with the Mayan calendar. I thought, there we go. That'll be nice and easy. And then I ran to the Inquisition. One more time, the Christians have done something awful to people. So anyway, don't want to get off on that. But I'm just saying that that energy, that possibility of taking, universal energy and using it to perhaps harm or to bring down enemies. That's absolutely there. In fact, that is all through the Bible, by the way. Bringing down your enemies, and your enemies are wherever you personally are picking. And that's not what I want to do. You know, I want to bring loving energy, perhaps more so to some than others, but that can be my choice. The others, they can just, find it as they will, because some may never be reached. Um, and the ones I really want to be reached are especially the innocents, and especially the ones that are being wrongly done, that need to know right now that they are held and loved. And I may not be able to go physically do that, but I can divinely do that. There are energies that all of us can unleash and send, and it's about our intention and focus. And we intend and focus on that, we can send them. So I just want to be honest today. I'm really feeling called. I'm really feeling called to send some negative energy, and I'm doing everything I can to make sure that doesn't happen. And I just wonder if anybody else has ever connected with that, perhaps used it, or felt called towards it, and how we can move through to where we only use loving energy. Because to be honest, loving energy is infinite. The other energy takes. That's a taking energy. The other is a giving energy. And that's part of why I only want to stay at the giving energy of love. Because other energy works, but it takes something from you too. There's a price. And I'm not willing to pay that price for myself and for my karma and for, all of those that I come in contact. It taints everything, and it's not worth that. So anyway, just a real honest take on where I am today, and love, peace, and release.